There's a social contract we all agree to. We give certain people badges, we give them authority, we give them guns and the public trust. And in return, they promise one thing above all else: protect and serve. Not protect and serve their friends, not protect and serve their political allies, everyone. But what happens when that contract is shredded? When the person wearing the badge decides that some children deserve protection and others don't. This is the story of Sheriff Bobby Eggleton, Putnam County, West Virginia, and a little girl whose only crime was having a parent who spoke out. The messages came in waves: specific, graphic, terrifying. A child, someone's daughter, threatened with sexual violence and murder, not in some abstract way, but in explicit documented text messages. This isn't political discourse. This isn't heated debate. This is a credible threat against a minor. Any parent knows that feeling, that ice water terror that floods your veins when your child is in danger. You do what you're supposed to do. You go to the police because that's what they're there for, right? Then the video surfaced. Sheriff Bobby Eggleton on the phone with the man making the threats, not arresting him, not investigating him, talking to him. Think about that. The chief law enforcement officer of Putnam County, West Virginia, on a call with the person threatening to rape and murder a child in his jurisdiction. The parent does what any reasonable person would do: reaches out politely, asks the sheriff to call back to explain, to do his job. Silence. So they put in writing, "Sheriff, we need to talk about this." His response: denial. The call never happened until they played him the recording. Here's what Sheriff Bobby Eggleton didn't do when confronted with evidence. He didn't recuse himself from a case he's clearly compromised in. He didn't report it to the West Virginia State Police. He didn't contact the FBI. He didn't treat death threats against a child like death threats against a child. What did he do? Come on into our office when you're in town. 6 words that say everything. Not, "We're opening an investigation," not, "We take threats against children seriously," just "come on by when it's convenient." As if a parent is supposed to walk their threatened child into the office of a sheriff who's been caught on tape coordinating with her would-be attacker. The parent didn't stop there. They reached out to the board of supervisors, all of them, the editor of the Charleston newspaper, Mr. Millett, people with power, people with platforms, people who could, who should care that a child is being threatened and the sheriff is doing nothing. Radio silence, no outrage, no investigation, no story, just a silence. Because in Putnam County, apparently, there are children who matter and children who don't. And the deciding factor isn't innocence, it isn't vulnerability, it's politics. Let's be absolutely clear about what's happening here. A sheriff sworn to uphold the law is allegedly refusing to protect a child because of her parents' political beliefs. That's not law enforcement. That's a protection racket. Say the right things, support the right people, and maybe will protect your kids. But step out of line, well, this isn't about left versus right. This isn't about Trump versus Biden. This isn't even about politics. This is about whether we still believe in the most basic principle of justice: equal protection under the law. Putnam County, West Virginia has a history: corruption that runs deep, officials who've confused the public service with personal power. But there's always been a line, a place where politics end and duty begins, where you can hate your neighbor's yard sign, despise their bumper sticker, think they're dead wrong about everything, but when their child is threatened, you protect that child. Because that's what the badge means. That's what protect and serve means. Sheriff Bobby Eggleton, if these allegations are true, has erased that line. He sent a message to every family in his county who doesn't share his politics. You're on your own. This family isn't anti-police. They are police family. They understand what that badge is supposed to represent. They know good officers. They know what real law enforcement looks like. And that's exactly why they recognize corruption when they see it. Bobby Eggleton may think he's untouchable, that his connections, his politics, his position make him immune. But here's the thing about corruption. It only survives in darkness. If you're watching this, you have a choice. You can look away, you can decide this isn't your problem, that it's too political, too complicated, too far away. Or you can remember that little girl, someone's daughter, who has to live with the knowledge that the people who are supposed to protect her are talking to the man who threatened to kill her. Share this story, make noise, demand answers, because if this can happen in Putnam County, it can happen anywhere. And the moment we accept that some children don't deserve protection based on their parents' politics, is the moment we've lost everything that badge is supposed to stand for. Protect and serve isn't a suggestion. It's a sacred duty. And when those who wear the badge forget that, it's up to the rest of us to remind them.